Welcome to ShadowMeTarot. Thank you all for joining me again. And if you're here for the first time, thank you for joining me for the first time. We are going to do an unboxing of Morgan's Tarot. I saw another reader using this online and they were just in love with it. So I decided I wanted to check it out. And then I was like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. And it was first published, it looks like in 1970, then again in 1983, and then again in 2009. And I got mine this one was printed in October of 2021. So I just got mine. And when I saw all the pictures, I thought this was like the size, just like a pocket edition, like smaller. And it's actually the same size as my normal, regular kind of tarot deck. So that is really, really cool. So let's see what this is about. Oh, it's got stuff on here. It has 88 cards and an instruction book. So 10 more cards than a normal tarot book or tarot deck. And it says, originally published in 1970, Morgan's Tarot makes a comeback with its retro black and white images and new age messages inspired by 60s counterculture philosophy. Intended to expand the consciousness of the reader, this unique 88 card deck departs from the structure of traditional tarot with images and insights that can be enjoyed in any order. All right, what else? Created by Morgan Robbins, illustrated by Darshan Chorpash. And we have, that's it. That's all the stuff on it. All right, let's open it up. Let's open it up. So I am kind of pleasantly surprised that it's not like a smaller or miniature kind of playing card size deck, that it's actual tarot size card deck. Not my favorite card box, but sometimes when you have boxes like this, I always feel like it means you're supposed to use it. Okay, there we go. And very small little instruction booklet. Oh, before we do this all the way, I want to just kind of compare this to my Rider-Waite deck. And it's definitely thicker. It's definitely thicker cards. Well, you know what? It's thicker because there's 10 more cards in here too. But I want to say that it's still kind of thicker cardstock. I want to say that it's still thicker cardstock, but we will see as we open this up. Alrighty. So I'm pretty sure that the original had like a pink printed backing. Like this was pinkish in color. All right, it says instructions by Morgan Robbins, printed by US Game Systems. Oh, it's so small. And these little decks, when they're teaching you how to read, then these books are great. But I am a lot confused on this book. Like, so confused on this book. All right, so I think that these are cards. Let's read the introduction. And you guys can fast forward to the tarot deck if you want to. But here we go. So out of the mystic 60s and into the tantric 80s speeds an unusual vehicle called Morgan's Tarot. Created to transmit New Age consciousness and energy, Morgan's Tarot was inspired by various spiritual traditions, especially Tibetan Buddhism, but most of the cards reflect direct experience. The tarot penetrates the unknown by reflecting elements of the sources of the knowledge and wisdom. It mirrors the collective unconscious with basic archetypal symbols in universal settings. In contrast To conventional psychology, the tarot assumes a spiritual universe of which the physical world is a reflection, whereas psychology tends to accept a dualistic premise. Esoteric philosophy work from a non-dualistic premise. Thus, in the physical world, there is both the object that is perceived and the perceiver. In the mystic realms, the apparent separation is felt to be an illusion contained within unity. The ways in which Morgan's tarot cards can be used are infinitely varied. A few methods are suggested in this booklet. Morgan's tarot differs from traditional tarot decks in that it comprises 88 cards instead of the usual 78 and has no division of major and minor arcana. There is no specific order to the deck. The order in which they are described here is purely random. Wow. Like, okay, this is a book without a table of contents. Pick a page. It's a choose your own adventure book. Like, holy smokes. Okay, Morgan's Tarot and the main switch. Consciousness, the key force of the mind, is active in the sense that transmutation occurs as consciousness increases. Assuming that you have an ego at this point, the time has now come for you to attain universal consciousness. If you haven't found the switch to universal consciousness, keep looking. Examine Morgan's Tarot and you may find a switch or two, or a whole series of switches taking you. Oh, traveling one ever closer to the main switch. If upon turning various switches it does not seem that you have found the main switch, don't be discouraged. Each switch reveals a clue as to the whereabouts of the main switch. For those of you who are on automatic control, there's little to say. In any event, Morgan's Tarot is fun for all ages, family, and friends. Wow. I want you guys to tell me what you think of what I've read so far. Just tell me what you think so far. I'm going to, oh my goodness. Okay. I'm afraid to read the whole book because it's going to end up like it's got someone's laughing at you. Certain people in the environment are unaware. And I'm like, does this have all 88 cards in here in just random freaking order? And it looks like that is what it is. It genuinely looks like exactly that. And then it says at the very end here, it says using the cards. Have your questioner shuffle the cards several times. After they're well shuffled, ask him or her to cut the deck to the left hand into 3 piles. Replace the piles in a new order. You as a reader turn over the first card. See diagram saying this card covers you, represents the general. Then they just go over the Celtic cross here. Yeah. I'm so confused by the book, but I think that's the intention of the book. Is the book is like meaningless. Okay, so like I almost feel like, is this a card? But I think it's just the introduction card. Transmutation through the union of opposites. Although I think I just read that. Nope, that's the main switch. I don't know. I feel like this is a card and it is union of opposites. I'm going to set it to the side. I'm not seeing it in here, but it feels like a card. It feels like an actual card. And I think the whole purpose of this is to use your intuition. So maybe there's another union of opposites card. These are not in alphabetical order. All right, let's just do this. Let's do this. I'm not going to count the union of opposites. Can't, I mean, I can say that the Fool has like divine feminine and divine masculine properties. I mean, the Pentacle is earthy and whatnot. So let's see what happens here. Your mission is not yet complete. To me, this is a card that would come after the World, and the Fool would come after the World. So it's time to start something new. It's kind of how I would read this. But I would never know that this is a Fool card if I were to pull it. So this one says there are no mistakes. And mistakes is clearly misspelled here. I think I'm going to just say, okay, if this is the Magician, you know, part of learning how to use each of our tools and each of the elements is making mistakes with those. Then we have Passion is the High Priest, I guess. I don't think these are in any particular order. Oh my goodness. I don't really know what to say. So we're just going to keep going. It is not what you do that counts. It is where your head is at. Okay. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You know, what you think about, you bring about. And if you're miserable doing what you're doing, you're not going to do it very well. Right? There's this lotus flower here. It means purity usually. I would almost venture to say that feels closer to this intuition card, the High Priestess. Passion might be more the Magician. And there are no mistakes, maybe more the Fool. And then your mission is not complete, to me feels like the space between the World and the Fool, I guess. All right, I'm really confused, so I am trying to figure out this deck. And I think that's the... Okay. So this lotus flower, it's not what you do that counts. It is where your head is at. So I feel like maybe this is the Empress, like your abundance lives in your head. This feels like the Emperor just because it has a masculine energy and it says go ahead on. Like turn your head on. I don't know. Think. Do it now. The Hierophant. He's also got this, you know, maybe as a connection to the divine. Do you know what I'm saying? So this could also be the Hierophant. But then that would mean this would be the Emperor. And if that's the Emperor, you know, your thoughts are a good foundation as to where things are going to go. I don't know. All right. Do it now. I mean, all these people have to work together. The Lover's card is a choice in a union or commitment or contract of some sort. I think I'll make a Buddha. None of this feels congruent with the Rider-Waite at all. Keep up the good work. It's going to take a lot of strength to build that pyramid. I need to accept that this deck has nothing to do with the other. Although, who am I feels very hermitish. And I feel like, did we get it? Did I hit the mark? All right. Whatever's right. Okay. We've got the lotus flower and the lily pads here. And then it says, do not meddle in the affairs of wizards, for they are subtle and quick to anger. I do kind of feel like don't mess with the judge. Don't fight City Hall. All right, think about it for a while. The Hanged Man. I like that. I feel like I found it. I feel like I found a little kind of congruency groove, parallel groove here. I still don't understand. Feels like a refusal to change. What can happen in the reversal of the Death card? Don't worry, you can do no wrong. I mean, temperance is about mixing it up and keeping things in balance and harmony. I mean, he's pretty much mixing it up with his hair. And there's nothing wrong with mixing it up a little bit, right? I mean, that bird is flying upside down. Turn things upside down. There's no wrong in turning things upside down is kind of how I feel about that card. All right. Ooh, someone is laughing at you, caring about what other people think. Codependency is really what kind of comes to mind if this is a parallel for the Devil card. The one mind is rootless and foundationless. Ooh, that's interesting. I feel like this card is a warning to group thinking. Perhaps relying on what someone says. There's a lot of different ways to kind of take that depending on the kind of reading you have, whether it's the one job, the one person. That's kind of all in your mind. And that what's in your mind has no roots and no foundation, so it's fallible. You're likely to be let down. All right. Death and rebirth. I want to say that is the Death card. So let's go back and kind of compare then, because that just feels so far along for us to get to the Death card here, right? That's the Death card. I don't know. I honest to God don't know. But anyways, here's a Death card in no particular order. Then we have heavy. The shadow is heavy. I don't know. This also kind of gives me like a Two of Pentacles feel. Imbalance and justice kind of feels justice-like. What else can this be? And let's see, we've got the Freak here. Be your best you, be your own self. What card would best represent the Freak? Probably your inner child, right? The Sun, your deepest happy is when your best freaky self. Be careful going around curves. Use good judgment. I mean, I hope that's it. Somewhere there's an energy leak. Okay. Then we have the 6 ball. It looks like a pool ball. It looks like a pool ball in the hole in the middle of a table. Although that could be the shadow of the ball on the table. Where's that ball gonna go? Is it a strategy game? Are we playing slop? Let's see. I'm like, what do you extrapolate from the number 6? Do you think of the Lover's card like I often do when I think of tarot? Is it about love and relationships? Is it our love and relationships cyclical or circular, or come back around to you, or do we need to re-rack, or I don't know. I am just like the Virgin, the Sun Queen. I feel like that could be the Sun card again. I also feel like that could be the Queen of Wands. Which, by the way, I should probably be doing not cups, but wands, because that's traditional way that these cards are kind of put into place. I always assume wands first. Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles is usually my assumption. All right, so there we go. No trips without a tripper. I feel like you can't go anywhere if you don't try. This feels like a trip to the moon. That feels like an engagement ring. So I feel like love you to the moon and back. What do you see in that card? What do you see in that card? Hope with the star right there. I feel hope. Then we have the path. The piece is a maze. That's how I feel about that one. The path, the piece is a maze. And it can only be entered in love. I almost feel like, wow. And this is just an epiphany for like this card is an opportunity to say, I'm sorry. Right? I just feel like this is an opportunity to say, I'm sorry. Then we have a blank card. What are you feeling now? And I want to just try to see if like I can find any of these cards. Oh, here's the what are you feeling now and the blank card. Oh, what? Okay. So the very first card, there are no mistakes, is in the book. Okay, so the first two cards of this deck are not here. They're not here. So yeah, these are all cards that are in the book. So let's look up, and they look like they're going in order. But once you shuffle this deck, you're never gonna find these cards in here again. Not easily, anyway. So what are you feeling now? Here we go. You might as well feel good now. However, if you're unable, don't worry about it. Our feelings are usually related to our thoughts concerning the future, the past, or our perception of how others feel in relation to us. Plots for the future are valid, but awareness of the present moment clears away spiritual obstacles. All this has little to do with the Japanese wind bell sounding outside my window. Fucking what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Like, whoa! What the heck? All right. So I feel like, you know, I feel a lot, actually. I do feel quite a bit from the cards themselves. And even though I'm like baffled by this book, I'm like, it really does resonate quite a bit. So I don't know if you're experiencing that as well, but let's go on to the next one. I hope this is the Eight of Wands. But we're going to say this is drink gold. One of the various rainbow colored energies that are playing in the cosmos. Concentrate on the golden ones, for they have a positive effect. Perhaps you can manifest the Philosopher's Stone or attain spiritual enlightenment. In many contexts, this card applies to money matters. In any case, your productive activities can help many beings. Okay. And then we have what's happening. Who knows what the figures on the card mean? Or this is an innocent question as to why you're allowing this nonsense to occur. The cube corresponds to the element earth, the triangle to fire, and the circle to water. The next one is grass. Right on. Okay. You know what? I like 420 decks. When not every card is a 420 illusion. It's just like over the top. It's like some of the 420 deck, I don't know. Some of them just kind of, I almost feel like grass is the tool to enlightenment. It's not the goal. I don't know. Anyway. I don't like the new 420 decks that are coming out, but I like that it is at least mentioned because it is culturally relevant, at least particularly in the United States. Wow. Grass. It says an herb smoked by lower class Hindus. Well, call me a lower class Hindu. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. But I feel like when you're lower class, oftentimes you do have, you carry a lot of burdens as well. So maybe when I see the 10 of Wands in the future, I might think to myself, you need to go smoke some Chiba and feel good. I don't know. What do you do? Okay. I think it's definitely a wand though, because you smoke this shit. Just saying. All right. And there I was surrounded by the various and sometimes bizarre creatures of nature. I received a message. It said, I feel like I'm in Wands. Okay. So I'm just going to say, I received a message. It said, you and the earth are one. I might number these cards. I'm just going to tell you right now. I might number these. All right, next one. It says there's nothing you can do except sober up. Okay, there's nothing you can do, so why bother? The ego can prevent the grace of the cosmos from directing your life. You may meet obstacles that will prevent fulfillment of your wishes. Oh, okay. And then we have, this feels like that Garth Brooks song, right? Thank God for unanswered prayers. There's nothing you can do. Thank God for unanswered prayers. I don't know. That's kind of, it's like the divine balance here. We've got a yin and yang thing kind of happening. Okay. I'm just going to keep moving because there's not a whole lot of correlations between the two. Okay, so awake. Perhaps you're not aware of the important aspects of your situation. When you gain another perspective, many matters will be seen clearly for the first time. Perhaps there's no limit to these revelations. Then we have who's watching the cosmic drama? Some answers. You, me. It hasn't started yet. We, the gods, such as the Greek gods on Olympus, invented the drama for kicks and then forgot who we were and started believing that it is real. Like the who am I and what are you feeling right now cards. This card is a meditative tool for increasing awareness. For what? The cosmic drama in your life? The cosmic drama that's just inherent to humanity? Like, I guess, that's what you're supposed to ponder. These are open-ended. This feels very churchy, very, we're following somebody. It could be a play as well. Okay. You are experiencing an illegitimate feeling. We're into feelings. Feel like I nailed it with the Ace of Cups. Just saying. This statement is an absurdity, for there are no illegal feelings. In a reading, this card may indicate that you are experiencing a negative emotion, which will disappear when you realize negativity is not necessary. Focus attention on your feelings and experiences. Get in touch with yourself. All right. Mushroom. Expansion. An intricate, geometrical, color realm lays way beyond the highest mountain, far to the southeast. It is a space of wonder and awe where the gods and goddesses reveal their presence. Generally, mushrooms are considered a mystical food, and so the appearance of this card in a reading could be a greeting from higher realms. Often the mushroom refers to the goddess, the spirit of the forest, the little people, and other such creatures. The mushroom may also represent a phallic symbol and a source of power. Down home funk. The palace in the center of Shambhala, or any other paradise might seem to be far away because we are looking from the wrong dimension. Paradise could lie where the forces of the universe are balanced in contentment and harmony. Nobody here but us folk. On levels of incomprehensible enlightenment, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva have achieved self-forgetfulness, as have Venus, Kali, Maya, Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Anubis, Thoth, Osiris, Horus, Hermes, Terra, the dolphin, Ra, Saturn, Mars, Christ, Buddha, Jehovah, the Devas, Ahura, Mazda, the 99 attributes of Allah, the white goddess, etc., etc., etc. Slimy glob reigns. So this is supposed to say slimy, but I can't even see the word slimy here. I can see my glob reigns. That's what I see. It says, perhaps you need to clean up your act. This card has almost no redeeming features. Or what was it I was doing a minute ago? Yesterday's truth. Your doubt is your faith, if necessary in your particular case, perhaps doubt. Doubt is your faith, if necessary in your particular case, perhaps doubt. Oh, I get it. Doubt your faith of doubt. I get it. It's a double negative. Oh, this one says, oh wait, I missed this one. I'm sorry. I forgot to read this one. What was I doing yesterday? Or what was I doing a minute ago? Perhaps, and then it says yesterday's truth. Perhaps you're hanging on to something that had its own truth in the past. There's nothing wrong with working out the past or reminiscing as long as the full flower of present reality is not overlooked. Your doubt is your faith, if necessary in your particular case, perhaps doubt. From a transcendental, non-attached perspective, doubt can be experienced as perfection. At certain times, it is more healthy to admit doubt than to try to suppress it. This may not be a perfect circle, but it is perfect, whatever it is. Comparison is not true perception. The nature of reality can be known through direct revelation. Boo! The appearance of this card may indicate something scary is happening, but there's probably no need to take it too seriously. Dragged. This feels like the reverse of the Ten of Cups here. You may be hungover from taking too many drugs, or perhaps your energy is not productive because of obstacles. Interesting. Then we have power. Power is the ability to manifest intentions. Attaining power is relatively easy, but the side effect and consequences of using it are incredibly dangerous. Acquiring knowledge is usually a more beneficial endeavor for the individual. You are a pawn. You may feel that you're being manipulated by a higher, more clever intelligence. In reality, nobody is doing anything to anybody. We're all here together, although the rational conscience may not realize it. As above, so below. Dualism is an illusion. The events on earth reflect the events in heaven. Man and woman contain the patterns of the universe. As above, so below is quoted from the Emerald Tablet, which is the summary of the alchemical work as revealed to Hermes Trismegistus, an ancient sage of unknown origin. Maya, the field of the Lord. The world is illusion, or Maya, in that it is always changing. For example, from infancy to old age, as shown on the card, both the field and the Lord are objects of illusion. Maya is like a dream. There is always the possibility of awakening. Meanwhile, the monkey speaks. This is the astral computer center. We describe in symbols the nature of events as they are perceived. The symbols are then cross-checked with various archetypal systems such as astrology. The resulting correspondences indicate certain points at which the past and the present coincide simultaneously manifest forms for creation. There is no possibility of error because we create arbitrarily. Thus, we are free to make any connections. This card might mean things are not what they appear to be. The dream. The waking dream is not contained in the head of a dreamer, nor is it outside of reality, nor is it in any unknowable space. You are our God. There is none other. This is the other side of there is no you. The kingdom of heaven is within, and you can find yourself ever anew in the universe. However, as God, you are part of humanity. Thus, the Buddhists encourage infinite compassion for all living beings. Do wacky do. Originally, this was a tall, thin bird that rapidly peeked, not pecked, through many windows. Later, it was a tall, thin bird staring around itself at the dull, stupid life of the modern age. Finally, it assumed its present form. Okay, hand. Traditionally, the hand is used in palmistry to determine what is or what will be. A hand can also be seen as a symbol of aid. This card can be a sign that help is on its way, or a hint that someone around you needs help. It's a dog-eat-dog food world. In the realm of constant concern about how to survive, it's nice to know the methods, but being in that realm is often the result of directing enormous amounts of energy toward believing you are there. Overwhelming anxiety about being stuck tends to perpetuate the situation. Ignore the preceding. Forget the past, because cause and effect relationships are not necessarily universal. If we were responsible for every change, we would have no choices. Turn off your internal dialogue so we can overthrow the citadel of the Buddha. Far out. What is happening has significance way beyond what you realize. The cards express appreciation and approval of what you are doing. Eternal bliss. Bliss is dynamic fulfillment throughout all change. Although eternal bliss may not be the final goal, it is a good start. Stop. Cease being guided by omens. The universe is not entirely in harmony with your will. A psychic jolt can change the flow of events or even rechannel it. The universe is not unfolding the way it should. Actually, the universe is unfolding the only way it can, the way it is. Someone once said the most difficult lesson we have to learn is that we are always in the right place at the right time. The basic message here is that regret and guilt are not useful emotions. Door to the Akashic Records. Contain the entire cosmic drama in all its dimensions, including the future and the past. The records are available to the psyche of the reader, and various portions of them can be tapped. For further information, please consult the head librarian located somewhere in the main library. There is no you. The knowledge that the universe operates with no outside help and that you are an integral part of this phenomenon can have a liberating effect. From here on in, it's nothing but a downhill run. It does feel more like Knight of Swords to me, but I'm going to leave it alone. It is a total coast from here to enlightenment and total liberation. Cut the strain and the flow into what is. Buddha will watch over the situation. Await further orders. Although the message is torn, more data is coming and will clarify what your next move should be. However, you may have hooked into a superficial guidance system that is not really relevant to your basic being. The whirling golden wheel. This is the symbol of all that is constantly turning, cannot be understood. Awareness of the whirling golden wheel allows the rider to relax in spite of the inevitable friction. Speed. Hurry on with whatever project you're considering. If there is a judge, you are it. To avoid tension that might result from trying to improve a situation by imposing standards on it, relax into a state of non-comparison and non-urgency. Live in reality as it presents itself instead of hoping for some incredible miracle that will occur out there somewhere, back there or up there in the future as soon as you get it together. The above conception is purely arbitrary and may be altered to suit individual taste. There are no others. Despite the truth of the claim that there is no reality but reality, and that wherever we look, we see nothing but God or a manifestation of the universal divine consciousness. Often in this weird universe, we find ourselves with the unmistakable impression that we are faced with somebody else. Insignificant. Oh, wait. Hold on. We didn't finish the... We did not finish There Are No Others. So I'm just going to read the last sentence here, which is like the whole thing. All right, so there are no others. Despite the truth of the claim that there is no reality but reality, and that wherever we look, we see nothing but God or a manifestation of the universal divine consciousness, often in this weird universe, we find ourselves with the unmistakable impression that we are faced with somebody else. A guru might say, I am you and you are me, and you might reply, no, I am here and you are there. But if all pronouns are abolished, there is only one God in the bouncing universe. All right, in insignificant change, the meaning of this card is that things are going to be different for you. The change may or may not be important. Perhaps time is only a measure of change. Wait. You may feel that you are losing your patience. Things are still not working out, but we do not have to be confined in long cycles of time and in space as big as galaxies. A certain gestation period is required before the complete satisfaction of all your wildest desires. The robot. Mechanical thinking will take you no further than the robot on this card can go. Forget it. You blew it. It's too late now to do any further constructive work on your project. Don't consider the self's desire, and above all, don't think about pink cockroaches, green snake churlies, and don't follow instructions. Okay. The war has reached a critical point between Atlantis and Mu. If the world can be thought of as a yin-yang symbol, then the West might be thought of as the yang portion, symbolized by Atlantis, and the East in yin, symbolized by Mu. The peaceful interaction of these forces results in a harmonious whole. On all levels, the universe as a whole is a perfect whatever it is. The interaction of passive and active principles might be felt as conflict at times and love at other times. I come from a different planet. Psychologically, this card might express the individual's feelings of alienation or separation from the environment. In reality, of course, having come from Arcantomycin, the 16th planet in the Wixcloxian system of Andromeda, you're having great difficulty acting like an earthling, especially since your memory was wiped out at birth and you don't realize you're an alien. Still, knowledge of your origin might enable you to adapt to the ways of the natives. Tomato, potato, eggplant. Macrobiotic doctrine says that these vegetables are extremely yin, almost to the point of being poisonous. However, for most people, tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplants means nourishment or practical considerations involving food. Baba. Baba means loving father in Hindi and is a name or title assumed by many East Indian gurus or spiritual teachers. Baba also means God. Okay. 0. This card means nothing, though it might occur to some that this card could be identified with the Fool. In the traditional tarot deck, the Who Am I card actually corresponds to the Fool. All right, now I need to find the Who Am I deck, or the Who Am I card, because I think I kept that I said was the Who Am I card is, this is supposed to be the Fool for this deck, and I counted it as the Hermit because that was like the placement of the card in the deck. So, in any case, there's no rhyme or reason to this deck. But I'm cool. I'm good with it. I really don't mind it. It's just an oracle deck, though. It's not... It's loosely based on some tarot principles and ideas and stuff, I think, is kind of how I interpret that. All right. So this is supposed to be like the Fool, but the full meaning of the whole, like H-O-W or H-O-L-E, and then it has W-H-O-L-E card, is empty. The nothingness concept of Zen Buddhism or existentialism might be appropriate here. In various schools of thought, there is almost an infinite variety of nothingness. If anything, the card might symbolize the sun. So even the author isn't telling you it has any conceived notion of what the meaning is. Okay, we're running out of tarot cards, so we're into card number 78 right now. This is central headquarters. Sometimes reality tends to be organized in relation to a center of consciousness called the heart chakra or the sun. However, there is no inner being, just as there is no outer being. The Valley. This feminine earth card means rest from turbulence. Or the valley could be the paradise of the harmonious realms, the hidden valleys of Shambhala. Does consciousness ring a bell? No, she honks a horn. In a reading, this card indicates a specific factor in your situation that will provide great clarity when you become aware of it. Also, the question is posed, does awareness in itself act? Message Monday. Or Messages Monday. On Monday, a message will come revealing what your next move should be in carrying out the master plan. Your situation will become clearer. Let George do it. George likes to do things. It makes him happy that he's more competent and less lazy than 99.9% of the rest of humankind. Relax and let your intuition guide you. George will do the rest. I like it. All right, love. The spirit of this card in a reading is determined by the context of the situation. I shall refrain from making any further comments except true love is unconditional and unlimited. Pigs and fishes surround you. Pigs and fishes represent those aspects most difficult to influence in the polychromatic bubble of dualism. It is also said that this card means inner truth. All right. Tee-hee, ha-ha. Who's laughing? The answer is revealed by the other cards in the spread. Try to relax. Trying and relaxing oppose each other. So the real meaning of this card is relax. Don't try. Always remember this. The attempt to remember every insight can place a self-defeating strain on the mental system. Hence, for some it may be more useful to keep things simple and let the unself-conscious self be in charge. However, due to the transitoriness of existence and the impermanence of our knowledge, and for the sake of consistency, a memory system can be quite useful. Okay. This is just fun. This is a fun deck. All right, and wordless. Despite the obvious function of symbols, direct revelation has the primal place in realization. There are many means of communication that do not involve words, and the appearance of this card in a reading might mean that nonverbal messages are being sent. Okay. Then the book itself goes over to, it goes on to describe a Celtic cross. So what we're going to do now is we are going to shuffle these cards and we're going to interview our deck. So I'm going to clean this up here really quick. And I have every intention of using these Your Mission is Not Yet Complete and the Union of Opposites. Even though they're not in the card here, they both feel... Oh, I'm wrong. These are... Okay, so these are in here, and I'm just going to read this one. Union of opposites. Tension, when not resisted, can be changed into positivity. A higher state can be attained by mixing different and even opposing energies. Yin and yang, or positive and negative energies, can always be mingled as they are universally present. And then this one, it says, your mission is not yet complete. The great archaeological discovery is yet to be made. Traditionally, the entrance to Shambhala paradise has been in Central Asia. More recently, has been found in Mexico, and right now it is here. Actually, you are fulfilling a divine mission by following your karmic path. This is an opinion sponsored by Entity X-1513. Okay. Fun. So fun. All right, we're going to go ahead and shuffle these up and do a deck interview. All right, so let's see how they shuffle. The cards are thick. And you can see, like, these are going to take some work. These are going to take a little bit of time to work. When we get into thicker decks, it just makes it harder to shuffle. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So I may, until I can work these more and get them more bendy, I may just have to make it easy on myself and shuffle them like this. Get these good and shuffle. Mixed up. And you guys can always fast forward through this part. I just shuffle until until the cards kind of tell me to stop shuffling. But usually until I kind of start feeling like a control, like there's a warming up happening here, just the friction of bending the cards and moving the cards and touching the cards. I'm kind of like warming them up, right? And when they feel appropriately warmed up, definitely. But I usually shuffle at least 6 times. All right, they're starting to definitely warm up a bit at this point. So that feels good. Let's see how well. right, here we go. I didn't even get a chance to ask, but I was like, what is the personality of this deck? And the first card that pops out is Death and Rebirth. So I feel like it is the cycle of change, right? That is the personality of this deck. What is your strength? Wow, it just flies right out. The path to peace, the inner peace, through compassion is kind of how I feel there. What is your weakness? What is your weakness? I feel like it can't go get the drugs for me. That's how I feel about this deck so far. Whoa, okay, sorry. How much have you got to say? Oh, I laughed. I love it. Yay, you laughed at my jokes. Although maybe laughing at my jokes is your weakness. Baba is like the love of a father, right? Is what we read earlier. And then no trips without a tripper. So it can't take you anywhere. It can't love you, and it can't laugh at your jokes. Although I would beg to differ. I made a joke before this fell out. So maybe that's just me, my wishful thinking. How will you help me to grow? Oops. How will you help me to grow? Oh. You are God. Oh my God. And that's me. Yes, that's me. I'm God. According to this deck, we are God. We are all co-creators. We are all one. You are me. I am you. I am God. You are God. We are God. we're all that stuff of the universe. So thank you. I feel like it's going to help me grow in recognizing that to my fullest potential as a human. When can I call on you for guidance? When can I call on you? Jeez, the cards fly out of this deck. I really like that part of it. Ooh, look at that. The union of opposites. When I have to, I think when I've got to just, I feel like acceptance is the union of opposites, right? It's just acceptance. As neither good nor bad, just acceptance. All right. What is the best way to work with you? When I'm passionate. Probably when I'm a little angry. It's kind of how I feel about that. That's usually typically how I recognize passion. Although, like passion, when you really desire and want something, and go after it, or are going after it. What is, let's see. What will our relationship be like? Don't worry, you can do no wrong. I feel like I can come to this deck when my world is upside down, when I need to kind of just mix things up. I feel like this is the right deck to go to. I love this deck. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel very, very good about it. I think it's, I think there's a reason it's been published over and over since 1970. So thank you all so very much for watching. Please comment below, a thumbs up, a heart, all helps Google's algorithm say, I'm okay to watch and to have more people watch me. But in any case, if you could like, subscribe, share, comments below, and then let me know how you felt about this deck. Let me know if it's something that you'll use in your own practice. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful, blessed day.